Personally, you may not like the language, but when you're talking about it in public, you are representing a state. As a minister, one would expect little more sense and decorum. The central government is not going to give you for your everyday language. That is your job. Like what Karnataka is doing for Kannada, what Kerala government is doing for Malayalam and so on. So that is each state's job. Classical Sanskrit corpus, unfortunately for your rational friends here, is orders of magnitude more than that of Tamil.
Hello and welcome. I'm Vijay Srinivas and we're joined by Mr. Badri Seshadri, who's political commentator. Thank you very much indeed for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Let me begin with you. Udhayanidhi Stalin has called Sanskrit a dead language. Turned out to be a huge controversy here in the state, and not just in the state, but across India as well. You have been a writer for too long. Tell me, what is your take on this?
I think in this particular case, Udhayanidhi Stalin's primary problem was with the money allocation to Sanskrit vis-a-vis Tamil.
Yeah.
Now, in the passing, in mentioning Sanskrit, he used the words the dead language Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a secondary controversy, I would say. The first thing is the allocation of funds by the central government for various languages, and Udhayanidhi Stalin has a grouse there. Whether it is right or wrong, we can analyze that. And then the comment about Sanskrit as a dead language, since you asked that first, let me get into that. Now, that is not something that he has invented, afresh. It is something that DMK, borrowing that from DK, it has been saying that for too long, right? So, they were quite worried about the influence of Sanskrit on Tamil, the language, for long. DK, Dravidar Kazhagam, and Periyar particularly, also hated that language as the language of Brahmins, and Brahmins are their stated enemies, right? So, this epithet dead language Sanskrit comes from there, right? Whether a language is dead or not is dependent on too many factors, right? So, we need to analyze that, but the hatred comes starting from Periyar, Dravidar Kazhagam, moves to Karunanidhi, and also involves Anna. So, all of them have held on to this particular view, and that goes to the speechwriter. I don't expect Udhayanidhi to have crafted the speech. So, it goes to the core speechwriter for all Stalin's and Udhayanidhi Stalin's public speeches, and he has basically delivered that.
Okay, but you call it a hatred speech of sorts. But but if you really talk to political analysts in the state, a lot of them opine that this is just rational thinking because, when a handful of people actually speak Sanskrit, why not? It can be deemed as a dead language, isn't it? That's what they say.
Okay. And who are these worthies who call themselves rational? Just for my understanding. Any one or two names that you can mention?
No, I can't name them. It's just political analysts.
If they are political analysts, why are they hiding? Why can't you name them? I'll tell you something. Every year, UN is so concerned about languages going dead. Right? Are you aware of that?
No, not really. I don't know about this.
They keep talking about languages that are going extinct, just like species that are going extinct.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? And countries have a duty to preserve that language. For example, there is a language called Jaravi, which is spoken by the Andaman tribes.
Yeah.
The numbers are actually much less than that of Sanskrit. We will come to Sanskrit last. What should we do? Let it die. The dead language Jaravi. Do we say that? We don't say that. That's why I'm saying it is hate speech. Right? It is hate speech. There are hundreds of languages. Toda language in Tamil Nadu is a Dravidian language. It is spoken by very few people.
Yeah.
Right? Do we say dead language Toda? Have you ever heard a chief minister speak about the Toda language, the Kuruba language? I'll come up with the Narikoravas language, Irula's language, etc. as dead language Irula. dead language Kuruba, dead language Toda. Just tell me, right? Tell me one other chief or deputy chief minister or ministers anywhere in the country addressing any language in the country in such with so much anger, with complete dismissal. So that's why I'm saying it is hate speech, because it is not rational. You can talk to your friends and tell them that it is not rational. It is absolute hatred. Let us as well talk about the reasons for that hatred, right? So first thing that you have to look at is that every language is worth preserving. Every species of life form is worth preserving. Countries around the world and UN and various other international fora, they try hard to preserve
languages,
not just languages, all flora and fauna, simply because if it goes extinct, it's a loss for the entire globe. It's a loss for the entire humanity, right? So that's why there are attempts in South America. There are plenty of languages that are really going extinct, and in Africa, in some cases they say that there are only about 10 who are alive. We have to somehow record, because language, many of these languages are only spoken. They're not even written. So you can't even preserve them. Many languages that have gone extinct, right? There are a couple of languages I will mention, which are part of the Indo-European family, like Tocharian. They are gone. Nobody knows how they were spoken, but we have got some written text that is available. So today there is an attempt at recording every surviving language. Many of them are going to go extinct, surprisingly, right? There are more languages that are going to go extinct in the coming days. So death of a language is not to be celebrated except by the hate-mongering people.
But Mr. Badri Seshadri, but the crux of the matter here is about the allocation of capital, correct? It's been Sanskrit gets a larger allocation of capital, but classical languages, including Tamil, gets lower. That's the allegation from the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam.
It's not allegation, that is truth. So
that's right.
The numbers are all there.
From the RTA, we get to know this. Okay. Do you think it makes practical sense to actually allocate a large sum of money to a language that's transactional? When I mean transactional here, it's about improving your lifestyle. It's about getting a lot of jobs, because I don't think any.
Now, 1 second.
Yeah.
The money that central government spends on Tamil is not for improving its transactionality. It is also on the classical. No, it is not on practical. Okay. That is where our mistake comes, right? That has to be spent by the state government, right? Central government has the Central Institute of Classical Tamil, CICT.
Yeah.
They are not spending money for coming up with, new words in the language to correspond to artificial intelligence, etc. They are going back in time. They don't even work on text that is 200 years old. They work only on texts which are considered classical Tamil. Tirukkural will appear repeatedly in that, right? There are only certain texts, the corpus of which are considered classical Tamil. And the money is going towards that, in maintaining the organization, in paying salaries, in supporting their publishing program, right? Transactional monies have to be spent elsewhere by somebody else. This is important. You know how much is spent on Urdu? Our Deputy Chief Minister mentioned Sanskrit. Sanskrit gets disproportionately high amount of money, and I will come to that last. About roughly 100 odd crores for Tamil, about 2,400-ish crores for Sanskrit, about 800 plus crores for Urdu. Not again for transactional, right? There are structures built, and lesser than that for Hindi. Okay, about half of that, about 400 crores for Hindi, right? Again, 100 crores for Tamil, 400 crores for Hindi,
Mm-hmm.
not for transactional again. It's on the literary side of things, right? So primarily the money is spent on two large areas. There are structures that have been built, infrastructure, universities, people who work there, their salaries, overheads, current, electricity, AC and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next is their large scale publishing programs, because they have to be working on some text, right? And any further research that goes into that. That is where all the money is spent. If you have more institutions, naturally the establishment cost will be more.
Mm-hmm.
More professors, they have to be paid UGC category salary and so on and so forth. So therefore, more money is spent on that. Whereas in Tamil Nadu or related to Tamil, we see only one structure, CICT, and therefore less money. This is, if you are going to set up more structures, probably there will be more money. Next is who is going to build the structure, right? By the way, for all the other classical languages put together,
Mm-hmm.
that is Kannada and Telugu, which are also deemed classical languages,
Yeah.
the money that is spent combined or each one on an average is about 10 crores, 1/10 of Tamil, right? So somebody can say, how are you spending 100 plus crores to Tamil?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas as a Kannadiga, I see only about 10 crores or so being spent there for my language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this disparity exists related to the structure you have, corpus you have, corpus. Let me come to that, right? The classical Tamil corpus is much larger than that of Kannada.
Mm-hmm.
The classical Sanskrit corpus, unfortunately for your rational friends here,
Mm-hmm.
is orders of magnitude more than that of Tamil.
Okay.
Therefore, if you are serious about spending money per capita on the not on people side, on the text corpus side, you are forced to spend more money on Sanskrit.
So you mean to say this, Sanskrit is more a rich language
There
than Tamil?
there is more content
Okay.
which comes under the classical corpus.
Okay.
Okay, the richness or the poorness is left to the individuals who are working on it, and I would never call any language poor. The number of texts that are available, more in Sanskrit, way more than Tamil, which is way more than Telugu and Kannada. That's
Mm-hmm.
a fact today. And therefore, there is more money that is being spent on Sanskrit. And other than that, I have already mentioned that there are more institutions. There's an institution in Delhi, there's an institution in Tirupati. So there are all people working for it, and they have to be paid salaries, all put together.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but this is not the first time there has been a juxtaposition between Tamil and Sanskritam in Tamil Nadu, and but do you see this sort of framing an academically valid framing, or you see it as more of a political construction of the 20th century, maybe?
I have not seen any academic make such a statement,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if they are making, they will have to present facts, right? What do I need money for? What am I going to do with that money? So they have to make that clear, right? So I have not seen any proposal whereby there is someone saying that I have presented this proposal, so much money I need. Instead, they are going and giving this money to a dead language, right? Then you can at least say, hey, there is some reason, there is some fact here, and let's look into the fact. But there is no such thing. No, let the academics talk about it. Is any of their classical Tamil related proposal pending somewhere? Are there any great ideas that are stuck somewhere? Let's understand that.
Okay.
Right? I don't know that
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not sitting in any of these institutions.
Mm-hmm.
So someone who is in this field will have to stand up and say, these are all our proposals and they are getting stuck here.
Okay.
Right? Only then we can examine that. But when it comes to a deputy chief minister making a statement, it is more coming from the hatred. right? Otherwise, he would have simply said, I acknowledge that Sanskrit is a classical language, Tamil is a classical language. Both of them being classical languages, why are you spending so much for one classical language vis-a-vis another classical language? That is a better framing.
That's also
right?
because Prime Minister Modi, they say,
Mm.
seems to be wooing Tamils with, he says, Prime Minister Modi goes to UN General Assembly in New York. He says, he quotes, invokes Kaniyan Pungundana there, Yadum Mure Yavarum Keller. He comes here to,
Right.
for his pracharams here in Tamil Nadu. He says, look, I could have been born a Tamilian and all that.
Correct.
So, I mean, if he could showcase all his love, why can't he allocate more money? That's
Why should he allocate more money? Right? Money is based on what you will do with that particular language. Let me give you this. Okay. He comes from Gujarat.
Mhm.
And there is Uttar Pradesh.
Mhm.
Right? But Gujarat is a smaller state.
Mhm.
Uttar Pradesh has 5 times the population of Gujarat.
Mhm.
He will go and spend more money on Uttar Pradesh, even though it is not his state.
Mhm.
Because there are more people and more money is required.
Mhm.
Right? Gujarati, by the way, is not a classical language.
Mhm.
So he has not fraudulently created a concept. No, let's call Gujarati his mother tongue, a classical language, allocate, create a university, create Central Institute of Classical Gujarati, and to throw 125 crores into that. He has not done that, right? Tamil, when he makes the statement, he truly believes so because Tamil is a great language and its classical corpus is really fantastic.
Mhm.
But unlike Udhayanidhi, I would recognize that Sanskrit has unbelievably amazing corpus, more than that of Tamil.
Mhm.
It's there, right? He only has to go to Madras University, or now that documents have probably been moved to the Anna Centenary Library, where you have the Oriental Manuscript Library,
Mhm.
starting from a person called Colin Mackenzie during the East India Company days. He has been collecting lots of documents, manuscripts, and they were all after his time given to Madras University. That has now moved to the Anna Centenary Library, and just a trip there will tell him the amount of wealth that is there in Sanskrit,
Mhm.
right? Found in this state.
Mhm.
It is not some alien place. Tamil Nadu and Saraswati Mahal,
Mhm.
right? These have helped researchers of India, Indological researchers, learn so much about the culture of India. In fact, Tamil Nadu has had one of the richest collection of Sanskrit manuscripts across its various religious institutions, mutts and so on, thinking that everything written in Sanskrit is religious.
Mhm.
So a lot of people would have simply given it. But no, there is a large body of text available in Sanskrit which is religious and metaphysical. But there is an equal amount of content on variety of topics, on kavyas, on drama, on dance and other performing arts, on fine arts, on science and mathematics,
That's right. Yeah.
right? So plenty of content that the Tamils or people living in Tamil Nadu were using it. Traditional stapatis of Tamil Nadu, what Tamil Nadu is, promoting as its core, capability. People living in Swamimalai making these wonderful bronze sculptures. Nobody in the country can make it to the level that the Swamimalai stapatis can make in metal. That is a continuous work of more than 1,000+ years. Their text to this day, which is given to them by their own forefathers and from their grandparents and so on, the text is all in Sanskrit. These are not Brahmins. See, part of the problem, I said, I'm coming back to that hatred, is hatred of towards Brahmins and equating Brahmins to Sanskrit
Mhm.
has made DK, DMK, Udhayanidhi to say dead language Sanskrit. Now these are Vishwakarma community people.
Mhm.
They hold that. Plenty of Vaidya castes, it varies, different people. who perform the traditional medicine, many of their documents, the Ayurvedic medical documents across Kerala, they are all in Sanskrit. In Tamil Nadu, you get both the Tamil documents for Siddha medicine and the Sanskrit documents for Ayurvedic medicine, right? So, the contents available in Sanskrit, they're not always about Brahmins and a religion that they hate. It's more than that. Sadly, they don't seem to understand that. Is it required reading for everybody? No, not really. It's practical stuff that you want, you learn whatever it is that you want to learn. But there are people who are interested in researching that. And they should have access to that, right? Now, you are not doing anything about that as Tamil Nadu. Let the central government do it. When they are spending on Sanskrit, they are not spending on some people, the so-called people who are beyond Khyber and Bolan passes. They are spending on Tamils, Uttar Pradeshis, Karnataka people and Telugu people who are researching in Sanskrit. Who are the people who are working in Sanskrit establishments? They belong to the entire country, including Tamils. So, it is basically a myopic view. Now, if you say that, you should have a quota, only so much should be spent in Sanskrit. Now, no state has a right to say that. Let us say for a minute that Udhayanidhi Stalin is representing the state of Tamil Nadu. You can only ask what you want, right? What should be the allocation for classical Tamil? Central government is not going to give you for your everyday language. That is your job. Like what Karnataka is doing for Kannada, what Kerala government is doing for Malayalam and so on. So that is each state's job. What center does is something that is special, right? Where its role comes is to take up something that is not the ownership of any specific state. We do know that Uttarakhand will have Sanskrit as the first language or something like that. But in reality, Uttarakhand is a small state and they do very little. And even there, not everybody speaks Sanskrit. Okay, it's all just some name only. The value of Sanskrit is not what is spoken today. That's a low quality value for that, right? If I speak what I can speak very well in Tamil or English, what is the value of me speaking that in Sanskrit to a couple of people in an artificial manner? Few enthusiasts started Sanskrit podcasts. It didn't go much.
Okay.
Right? But we are not talking about modern stuff being talked about in Sanskrit. There are institutions. There is an institution called Samskrita Bharati, which says they will teach spoken. Those are all private institutions.
But you think that's not necessary?
I mean, I have no problems with it. Any private institution can do anything they want. I'm talking about the government. The government is not particularly interested. Central government is not coming to you and says, have spoken Sanskrit classes. They're not doing that. But when they are spending money on analyzing and researching classical language, they are approaching it in the right manner. I would say that they should be spending, we don't have much data on that, they should be spending money on classical Persian. Because for a long time, Persian was the language, the court language in India under Mughals, under a whole bunch of Islamic rulers. And later on, when British East India Company came to India, they started following Persian as the language for quite a while before switching to English, which means quite a lot of activities happened in India in Persian. Classical works have been created in Persian, though the language is actually that of Iran, modern day Iran. It is as much your language. So, it is important for India to focus on classical Persian.
So you mean to say it's more of the allocation is more of for research
Yes,
purposes
absolutely.
more than
Absolutely. So, you should, so that way, if they are going to spend, they're spending on Urdu, I very much appreciate that. Right. So, that is also an important language because it evolved in modern time. A combination of Persian and Sanskrit or various, proto languages of Hindi, it could be Kadiboli or Brajbasha or something like that, mixed with Persian, a new language called Urdu emerged. And a lot of work should be going into researching that. Now you can rebalance it a little bit. Instead of needlessly fighting, now Tamil Nadu should basically come up with proposals like you are coming up with metro proposals, which are, in a limbo for various other reasons. But you are in the right mind to actually ask for, not, you should double down and say, not only in Madurai and Coimbatore, I want metro in Tirunelveli and Trichy. So come up with more proposals and demand money for it rather than saying, why are you giving 2 rupees to him? Give me 3 rupees. Is childish, and it also shows that you have no idea about Sanskrit. Now, that is understandable because you don't like the language. Personally, you may not like the language. But when you're talking about it in public, you are representing a state. As a minister, one would expect little more sense and decorum. I am all for even researching Arabic and Latin because we have a reasonable number of Catholic Christians in India. And Latin is an important language for them. And for Islamic people, Arabic, these are classical languages. I would very much love that these languages are taught in colleges, research institutions are created. Now, that is a positive way of approaching things. And Tamil ranks there. And that is something to be proud of, right? So, today you won't, just to give an example, if you come up with, I will give money for going to Kasi and Rameswaram, you will say, okay, also give it to me for going to Mecca and Jerusalem. You won't say, don't give it to the deadbeat people who are going to Kasi and Rameswaram. Give to something else, right? So your thinking should be wider and not narrower.
Okay, so you call it a myopic view, but okay, this also seems more of an ideological battle in a way. Last time, Deputy Chief Minister Udhayanidhi Stalin talked about eradicating Sanatan Dharma, blown out to be huge controversy ahead of the 2024 elections. BJP certainly upped the ante. You think these kind of statements are offering ammunition to the Bharatiya Janata Party, particularly ahead of elections in 2026?
See, whether he is giving ammunition to BJP or not, a large number of people in Tamil Nadu, his core constituency, they have already been created and constantly educated by the DK-DMK hate organs. You have to, you spend some time with me on Twitter or now what is X.com, Facebook and YouTube. What he is talking about is talked about daily by a whole set of handles every single day. Okay, come up in the morning, abuse Sanskrit, abuse Hinduism, abuse Sanatan Dharma, use even more, choicy words and keep on going like that and do that ad infinitum. Now, every once in a while, the dog whistling happens by people at the top. If it is not Stalin, it is Udhayanidhi Stalin. So, that's just a message to his people. Now, BJP is not important in this particular case, at least at this particular point in time. But his audience, the core voters of DMK, are going to say, great, my boss has said death to Sanskrit or death to Sanatana, eradicate like mosquitoes. Great, wonderful, right? So this is going to be repeated again and again and again. Okay, this is ratcheting up and getting your core support base to support you.
Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure talking to you. Thank you.